Hey, what is going on everybody, and welcome to Fantasia. For today, we're going to be jumping into another session of Epic 7 out today. Got some more backseat battling for you guys. This time around, we're going to be spectating Cute Deska and Tevs. They're going to be going up against each other here. One's in Warlord, one's in Champion. I have a feeling I actually fought Tevs really recently. I recognize the guild at the very least, so that's kind of cool. And the whole purpose of this right here is I've been kind of feeling out of touch with the meta. I don't know. There are things that I assume are going to be picked all the time that just aren't picked all the time, and then there's units that I don't expect to be really good that end up surprising me, right? So let's see what these higher tier players are going to be doing here. We already have Perfume and Bibulus picked up with a Nurse Yoha. Nurse Yoha, one of those units that I used so much at the end of the last season, but just kind of has fallen off. I don't know, she's kind of fallen off in the start of the new season, right? Haven't really been seeing her a whole ton, but RNL and Bibulus are like the two first picks, like the first pick battle, right? If you get first pick, you normally take RNL. If you don't get the RNL, you go for Perfume and Bibulus. It's either you're on the offensive or you're on the defensive. But a bit of a switch up here by Tevs, because we have Bossarunka picked up, which is going to protect everybody in the back line. You can only target Bossarunka when she's in the front, which is really solid, but you also have a Harsetti that's ban protected, meaning speed is not going to be a factor here. A little bit weird, seeing as Tevs first picked the RNL, right? A little counterintuitive, because Harsetti slowing down RNL actually hampers her damage, because some of her damage does scale off of her speed stat, and Harsetti makes it so everyone's speed is 90% of hers. So, not the greatest synergy there. However, might be to stop the Nurse Yoha from going super aggressive, even though RNL in most cases finishes off Nurse Yoha like super easily, right? I guess the RNL does have split attention here, though, because she either attacks the Perfume Bibulus and stops her from doing the heal and cleanse and barrier with the bind, or you go for the Nurse Yoha. But if you attack the Nurse Yoha, then the cleanse, the heal, the barrier, and all that stuff from the Bibulus probably prevents your S3 from killing, right? With no defense break, I don't think RNL kills. So Genesis Ra is going to get snatched up here, really solid against the opponent's team, I'd say. Maybe not against RNL, because you can't really reliably hit her. But Aram's also going to get picked up. So if you can Genesis Ra skill 2, skill 3, and then reset him in skill 2, skill 3 again, you're probably going to be decimating at least 1 or 2 units. But Bologna's going to get picked up on the other side, along with the Ruel. I'd say Bologna's probably the ban. You can pick the Tori's... Oh, never mind. Going for a Genoa? Wait a minute. Tori would have been a super good pick here. Into the Bologna. I don't know about that, actually. Tori might not be a super good pick here. She could probably get burst down by the chip damage from Bossarunka, like with a Rocket Punch Gauntlet or a MOAS like proc. RNL has like 3 hits, right? Harsetti has like 2 hits. I guess it'd be too much for Tori, but I don't know about Genoa. Is Genoa any better here? Alright, Harsetti is going to open up with a skill 3. Ooh, the stun on the Nurse and the Genoa, guys. That is absolutely devastating. Holy. Alright, skill 3 comes out. At least stop. Oh, no provoke on the RNL either. That's actually really bad. Alright, skill 3 onto the Genoa. Genoa's stunned, so he can't cleanse. This is actually terrible. Super bad. He actually has the unbuffable too, which means he can't actually proc his passive either. Yikes, guys, not looking good. Okay, Genesis Ra is going to soul burn that skill too, going into the Bossarunka here. That's a really nice seal and a really nice collapse. Makes it so Bossarunka is super vulnerable right now. Genesis Ra is going for that skill 3. If he hits the Bologna, it's huge, but I doubt he's going to hit here. Yeah, there we go. Bossarunka goes down. Oh, but Genoa! But Genoa goes down! Oh, that's gotta hurt, guys. That's gotta hurt. Okay, RNL now takes the turn here. Harsetti's still alive, which means everyone's speed is still hampered. Nurse Yoha, look at that, what I was talking about. That defense break allows RNL to just come in and finish off the opponent. Tevs might be taking this against Cute Deska. Skill 3 comes out. Oh man, landing that fear on the Bibulus is brutal. And now Genesis Raz can get easily injured down by this Bellona. There's not much Genesis Raz can actually do against Bellona, honestly. There you go. Even though that provoke was there, Raz goes down. He's gonna revive. But is it really going to be doing anything? Oh my god, the stun here as well. So the Veritas couldn't even cleanse. Not that it mattered because Bibulus already used her skills here. Genesis Raz against 2 evasion units. One that injuries and one that's super fast. 2 of Genesis Raz's biggest weaknesses, right? Either being lapped 10 million times or, well, getting injury down. So yeah, there goes the skill 2 onto the Raz. He's going to get taken down probably by this erosion. Not enough. Actually, not enough. But enough to seal the deal in the grand scheme of things. Winners Tevs. Now it is relatively early in the season, but we got rank 272 versus rank 66, guys. These are some pretty dedicated players to be playing so much so early. But yeah, we see a first pick Abad Ludwig. Not what I was expecting. Degenerate unit for sure, but yeah, really interesting to see such an early pick for the Ludwig. The Freer in here as well. Typically don't see a first pick Freer in that early, but she's first pick. You get what I mean. Not a very typical occurrence here. ML Elvira, Zio, so we got a really aggressive team on the left, Witchmere Tenebria, and Shepherd of the Dark DN to kind of seal the opponents. Sage Ball, Ivana, Bossarunka, and Spirit Eye Slain on the right side. Some pretty quick drafts, so these guys kind of know what they want. Thing to note here is that the left side player here is from the Japan server, and these guys are a little bit crazy in what they tend to bring to the table. So see what the Zio ends up doing. No Shepherd of the Dark DN makes sense, otherwise Zio soul burns, DN comes in, seals everybody, and it's over. We just see a normal skill 3 come out. Sage Ball coming in, gonna be soul burning, putting people to sleep. 3 sleeps land. Uh-oh. Sage Ball, is he actually gonna be doing something here? 19k HP Sage Ball. He's gonna go for the Elvira. Oh, that is a lot of damage. 20k damage is crazy. Wow. Maybe it's time for me to rebuild my Sage Ball, guys, but you know who didn't get debuffed? That's right, Abad Ludwig, who tends to 15% everything, it seems. Spirit Eye Celine gonna be silenced, but it's okay. She can soul burn, but Ludwig is stealth right now. Guiding Light is a very popular artifact on him. People go for that over the Abad Orb sometimes, which is kind of nice. But Spirit Eye Celine gonna be soul burning once again. Really wants to reveal that Ludwig. I don't know about this, guys. I think Ludwig's dead. Oh my god. This Spirit Eye Celine just solos. Holy. What? I mean, I guess this is what happens when you don't have a bridge, right? I know the Ludwig was supposed to be the bridge here, but Sage Ball cutting there. I think I might need to rebuild my Sage Ball, guys. Got another one on our hands here. Got 2 Warlord players going up against each other, rank 90 versus rank 50. I think this one's gonna be quite an interesting one too, because we see 2 Liticas here. Faithless Litica on the left side and Blooming Litica on the right. A very aggressive team plus Notos Christie combo. Quite interesting. I do kind of like the draft on the right side, though. I think that's something I can maybe achieve, too, if I stop banning Notos like a coward. But on the left, we see Fire Politis and Abyssal Euphine to stop combat readiness gains. I kind of like it, but who's bridging besides ML Elvira? Right, who's pushing up combat readiness? I don't know. Christie's gonna get banned. Lady of the Scales gets banned. Okay. Faithless Litica could reset Notos here, but Zia's gonna go first, then Blooming Litica's gonna come in, right? And just kind of push back the opponent's team. I guess, I don't know. I don't know why the Fire Politis and the Abyssal Euphine are necessarily here. Oh, I see. It's to prevent the ML Elvira from pushing up after Blooming Litica goes, right? Because the debuffs from Blooming Litica would have been enough for ML Elvira to cut, but he's gonna attack the Fire Politis. Blooming Litica attacks, pushes back everybody. Faithless Litica's still in stealth, which is good. Politis and Euphine just kind of chilling there. I don't think it seems like Euphine is on Aureus, but here's the skill 3 onto the Fire Politis. Ooh, it's gonna be rough. Oh, it does finish off the Politis, but Faithless Litica gonna be able to skill 2. Does not strip the Notos, guys. Oh, that might be game over. Yeah, I think he's also a little bit confused there. The 15%, guys, that feels so bad. Holy. Right, well, the dual attack from the Arby, because the Faithless Litica EE. I don't know, guys, this is not looking too good. This is not looking too good. Litica does not quite go down. Arby gonna skill 3, gonna take out almost everybody, but guys, Arby into Notos not gonna be great here because he's gonna pop that skill 3. If Faithless Litica got that strip and then skill 3 into the Notos, like I think it legitimately like would have been over, right? I think it would have been over because that Arby would have just cleaned house. But now, I mean, you just finish off the Arby over and over again, right? Could there be an argument to make for Faithless Litica maybe going for a skill 3 onto the Notos here to reset him? I don't know. I feel like you can make an argument for that, right? Afterwards, so that he can only skill 1? Don't know. Either way, feels bad to lose to 15%. This is probably one of the highest ranked matches we've seen in a little while here with this early on in the season spectating, but rank 49 versus rank 15. And we have a Korea player on the left side up against a global player on the right. Warlord versus an actual Emperor player right now. RNL gonna get snatched up immediately. We see pre-bans on Harsetti, Bellion, Lady of the Scales, and Perfume Bibulus. 4 unique pre-bans here, but Notos was not one of them. Notos gonna get first picked by the Korea player on the left side, along with a non-ban protected Zio. Ludwig's gonna get immediately snatched up here, and Abasarunka's gonna be ban protected, so that Zio is not gonna be able to do anything. The Ludwig getting snatched up is actually really clever because that allows the global player on the right side here to take away like bridge units, right, from the Zio. So we do see ML Elvira picked up along with a Fire Litica. Fire Litica's pretty decent, probably maybe able to speed contest the RNL depending on the type of gears that are put on these units. Christie's gonna get picked up as well. That's gonna be kind of nasty. Briarwitch Assyria. Okay, maybe to prevent the Notos from reviving with a Holy Sacrifice, but how are they gonna deal with him? Like, how are they gonna deal enough damage against him? I don't know. Christie's gonna get banned along with the Tactical Architect Coley. No speed contest, no speed imprints here. I think this RNL might take the first turn. But you never know, guys. You never know when it comes to speed RNG. Let's see if the Fire Litica takes the first turn here. Or is RNL just gonna do RNL things? Okay. Oh my god, guys. The RNL is actually not gonna be faster than the Fire Litica, you can see. Of course, Zio's gonna take the first turn, but look at that. The Briarwitch was actually more of a contester here. The Fire Litica gonna come in, soul burn that skill to restrict and bind onto everybody. No jumping up in terms of combat readiness for this Ludwig. And this Basaruka is gonna be absolutely defenseless, right? In fact, literally defenseless with a defense break onto her. ML Elvira gonna be coming in with that skill 3. She already penetrates defense, doesn't really matter for that defense break, but look at that damage, guys, from the curse. Another hit onto that Basaruka. It could very much be over. Briarwitch Assyria gonna come in with a skill 3. Are we gonna see some defense breaks? Or is 15% gonna be kicking in once again? That Notos didn't get debuffed, guys. But hey, looks like that was still going to be enough to take the win because RNL could have come in and easily swept up here. Skill 2 onto the Notos, extra attack going in on there. Skill 3 with a full defense broken team. I think that victory does go to Che Wong. Got another pair of good players over here. Che Wong back in the action, going up against Kawai. And we have a Lady of the Scales, first pick, going up against an Arbor Vildred and a Notos. Oh my god, guys, what is going on? The amount of Notos picks is actually always wild whenever we do these backseat battlings. I just can't get over it. But anyway, Freerin gonna get picked up. Briarwitch Assyria gonna get picked up. Good counter into Arbiter Vildred. Freerin in general is pretty good into Arby, but probably not that great into Notos if he pulls off a skill 3. But then again, who really is in this state of the game, right? Faithless Litica gonna get picked up as well. No counter pick into the Notos. And then we also have Tactical Archetype Coley, which is a speed imprint. So there is a chance that this Faithless Litica goes first out of everybody, but not unless we got 2 more speed imprints here with Vildred and Wanderer Silk to help boost up the Briarwitch Assyria. I guess it's a battle of cleave, and just to see who takes the first turn. Whoever goes first is likely going to win, although Chaewon does have the power of the Lady of the Scales, preventing units from dying, potentially. We'll see. Zeo gonna get picked up here. Good bridge with the Tactical Archetype Coley. But perhaps if Coley gets banned, it's still fine. There we go. Wanderer Silk gonna get banned here. Briarwitch probably not gonna be touched by the Lady of the Scales, but we'll see. We'll see who follows up after Zeo. Is it gonna be the Faithless Litica? Is it gonna be the Briarwitch Assyria? I think it's gonna be Briarwitch. She might not be on Guiding Light though, which is gonna be the biggest issue here. And she is not. She is on Renewed Will. So Zeo gonna be able to come in. Skill 3 the Briarwitch. Faithless Litica gonna be able to come in, and then I think probably going to be able to control the team here. We don't know. Briarwitch does get pushed back. Oh, Excommunicant Censor onto that Lady of the Scales means she can easily push up after Zeo. Cleanse everybody. Push everybody up, guys. This is not looking good because we have Freerin coming in with a ton of damage on the skill 3. Hopefully the RB doesn't counter straight into the Vildred here. This is not going to take out Faithless Litica. Oh, but Vildred will. Holy cleave, guys. That is not what I expected to happen, but it sure did. So many matches being played so quickly, guys. It's a very fast and aggressive meta, and we're seeing that yet again here with yet another cleave-on-cleave action. We have Flora going up against a Korean player, Lady of the Scales, Wanderer Silk, Briarwitch Assyria, Tactical Archetype Coley, and Fire Shuri. That's 3 speed imprints for this Briarwitch, along with, well, Lady of the Scales there for some protection. We do have RNL, ML Elvira, Numa Luna, and a speed imprint in the form of Vildred. Maybe a follow-up here in terms of Sid? Perhaps? I mean, Shuri and Wanderer Silk are 14 speed imprints, right? Vildred is 12, Tactical Archetype Coley is 12, and Sid is 10. So I think banning the Vildred here, yeah, is definitely the way to go. Wanderer Silk gonna get banned instead of the Shuri. She does provide a bit more utility than Shuri does, but yeah, Tactical Archetype Coley is probably all that's really needed in terms of dealing with the team on the right side. There is going to be evasion in the form of RNL, and Sid does have elemental advantage over the Coley, so there's a 50-50 chance she misses the bombs there too. But yeah, look at that, guys. The Briarwitch going to be opening up. Skill 3 coming out. Gonna be pushing up the team here. Oh, look at those debuffs though. That is brutal. Skill 3 pushing up the team. Shuri will probably be able to skill 3 after Coley skill 3s. Is this gonna be enough? If this takes down Yumu Luna and the ML Elvira, I think it's pretty much over. But you can't guarantee it. There you go. Ooh, not the units I thought was gonna go down. RNL actually went down there. Really needed her to dodge, but nope, no cigar. So what I'm learning so far from watching these matches is that I should be afraid. I should be very, very afraid of cleave meta. But hopefully, maybe this is gonna see a little bit of a slowdown in terms of matches here. I like what I see right now. Boss Arunka, Little Queen Charlotte, Young Senya band protected. Hey. Finally seeing Young Senya action here, not against a Harseti, but against the Bellion. She's going to be pretty good against AoE damage dealers, but yeah, I assume you want to build her as much HP as possible and then maybe put her on the EE that increases the amount of fixed damage you do. That would be crazy good, especially paired with Estelle. So, yeah, definitely curious to see how she's going to play out here. ML Politis does counter the young Senya, though. That does kind of suck. Also counters the Estelle, so I guess that is something to watch out for. I got to watch out for that if I ever want to try out this combo for myself. Free Reign Band Protected is going to be a little bit scary, but the fixed damage from young Senya and the splash damage from Little Queen Charlotte, nothing to laugh at there. Ob going to be the last pick. Ooh, that's going to be kind of tough to deal with, not gonna lie. Rinok gonna get picked up. Is she gonna outspeed RNL though? I think she's just gonna get banned. I don't know if the opponent's gonna be risking that because ML Politis and Ob are both high priority bans here, and that Ob is definitely gonna be putting an end to the opponent's taking a turn, right? So we'll see. ML Politis is gonna be banned out. Boss Sarunka banned. Okay, so I think RNL's gonna outspeed him, probably just snipe down the Rinok. I understand why the Rinok was picked, because if there weren't 2 Earth units, then they banned the Estelle, and then young Senya doesn't do anything. But hey, because they banned the Boss Sarunka, it's actually gonna work out quite fine, because then they can put Estelle in the front. If Boss Sarunka is still there, you have to disable the Boss Sarunka to put an Earth unit in the front, so that's kind of anti-synergy, right? Either way, we have a skill 2 coming out into the Rinok. There's a defense break. She's going to go down. Oh, yeah, that is... Oh, my God, that's going to be very dangerous here. Skill 3. Not going to be killing the rest of the team, but Rinok definitely does not survive. And young Senya comes in for some damage, too. She's on Water's Origin, so she actually does jump up a little bit in combat readiness. Little Queen Charlotte gets a nice chunky barrier. And all of this is going to be allowing the units to cut before Ob takes a turn. Oh my god, the fixed damage, guys! Yo, this young Senya is going crazy! Hang on just a second. This Little Queen Charlotte going to be bonking with that skill 3. Oh my goodness. Into the Bellion. That's a lot of damage. That splash damage takes care of RNL. And is just Ob left. I don't think she's gonna be doing this, guys. That is crazy. Good job, young Senya. Jumping into another one here, we have Call Me MD versus Ethan. Hopefully it's going to be a good one. We're starting right off at the beginning of draft, which we love to see, so we can take it easy and kind of analyze the picks, right? Boss Sarunka, Perfume Bibulus, Notos, and Lady of the Scales, 4 unique pre-bans coming in here, which is wonderful stuff. You love to see it when that happens. RNL going to get snatched up here, along with an Estelle, maybe with a Perfumer... Oh no, Perfume Bibulus is banned here. Estelle's still a pretty decent setup. You can pair her potentially with a young Senya later. Nurse Yoha works as well with her. Really, really versatile unit. Pretty solid into stuff like RNL, right? Just soaking up damage for your team, and you don't even get feared, because when RNL does the skill 3, you take so much damage that you automatically cleanse. Swift Flagbearer Sigrid. Wow, it's been a while since I've seen her in action, so again, kind of good to see, just to see how she performs. Nurse Yoho with Display Prefect Aria. This looks like it's a really good time for Little Queen Charlotte in the ban protection slot, right? At least that's what I would personally do. 3 dark units on the other side. You can bonk any one of them. Should be pretty easy kill onto any unit you want. Probably onto the Nurse Yoha, I'd say. Little Queen Charlotte pairs really well with Estelle because you have the 40% damage share plus the 30% damage reduction. So Estelle doesn't take as much damage because Little Queen Charlotte's mitigating it, and then Little Queen Charlotte doesn't go down super early because, well, Estelle's taking 40% of that damage and soaking it up for her. But Little Queen Charlotte would need some form of maybe a bit more protection. Ooh, Ruel getting picked up instead of Little Queen Charlotte. I probably would have picked Little Queen Charlotte there and then picked Ruel 4th. I think that could work, but they're opting to go for a Tori instead. We're definitely going to need to see another last pick here, because while Tori and Estelle are pretty good together, without Perfume or Bibulus healing the Tori back up, she's still a little bit vulnerable, right? 3 hits and she's down, and guess who can do 3 hits in 1 turn? That's right, RNL. We'll see. If the Estelle comes in and gives a giant barrier, then that could be something different. It's a whole different story. Ruel can also revive the Tori and give her that invincibility for a turn until she's able to take a turn and maybe snipe somebody down. But you can't one-shot a superhumanized unit. That's for sure. So if Nurse superhumanizes something like Disappointing Prefect Aria, could be in for a bad time. Now, Salome is a pretty good choice here. Spirit Isoline also good. Salome, I'd say, is also really nice because the synergy with the Spirit Isoline. You copy Spirit Isoline, you can go for a free Soul Burn to attack, and then you can skill 3, right, yourself on the Salome, because you'll take the extra turn, and then you'll, lose your form of Spirit Isoline. You can skill 3, and that skill 3 does do fixed damage, which can easily take care of that Tori too. Yeah, and then, I mean, Salome can copy Nurse Yolha, superhumanize the Disciplinary Prefect Arya. If Nurse gets banned, you can copy your opponent's Ruel and do the same thing, just with invincibility instead of superhumanization. It's some pretty disgusting stuff. So the last pick here is going to be a Bellion. Okay. Bellion's decent if you're on 3F to do fixed damage against evasion like RNL and into Spirit Isoline, who's relatively squishy. Salome does get banned here. I think these two bans are pretty reasonable because the Tori shouldn't be the worst thing to deal with. I don't see her necessarily one-shotting anybody on the other side. Maybe the Nurse Yolha because she can't superhumanize herself. There's a 50-50 shot she does miss the RNL though, depending on the artifact that RNL is on, because Tori gets a 50% chance hit buff, but RNL can get up to 100% evasion if she is on Violet Talisman, right? She is on Violet Talisman. Okay, she's going to go for the skill 2. Into the Estelle, Bind and Defense Break. That's a lot of damage here. Skill 3 coming out. Ignores damage share, so Estelle might not take as much as you think she would, so she probably survives. There you go. She does get a counter, a little bit of a heal, a little bit of fighting spirit too. Ruel does get feared, but now it's time to inflict fear onto the opponent's back, right? Swift Flagbearer Sigrid taking the turn, typically over 200 effectiveness, which makes her pretty consistent at debuffing teams, especially even if there's a Disciplinary Prefect Arya on the other side. So we'll see here. Oh, never mind. Gonna go for a skill 2 after some decision making was done. Estelle gonna be proccing. Okay, nice little barrier. It's actually pretty smart. Keeps the Tori alive, right? With the barrier and all that stuff. Anyway, does give Nurse a chance to superhumanize though, and that means the Spirit Isoline gonna be the one that gets superhumanized. Skill 1 into the Estelle, she goes down. Holy Sacrifice! And then Celine is going to just skill 3, put up the immortality onto the team, so Tori cannot take anybody down. She's gonna go for a skill 3 though, just get the buffs, because why not? And then gonna be going into the Disciplinary Prefect Arya, try to get some damage done to her. Wow, she would have gone down if it wasn't for that immortality. But Swift Flagbearer Sigrid has a way to deal with it. Skill 3 to strip the buffs, well, onto everyone except the Arya. But yeah, either way, Estelle's gonna be taking a turn. She can soul burn, takes 20 souls though, because Arya doubles the cost. But Estelle can easily come in here and deal some pretty good damage, especially into the Spirit Isoline, who actually can't counter right now because she is feared. Soul Burn to heal. Oh, well, she heals anyway. The Soul Burn to decrease cooldowns. Nurse is going to be going down, otherwise she can cleanse fear once these units take a turn. Doesn't matter. Seems like she's doing it from beyond the grave anyway. Spirit Isoline going to be snapping out of fear. 21k HP. Going to be a very scary unit. Going to go straight into the Estelle for yet another kill. And she's a Wind Rider. So she is going to be getting that attack boost for this follow-up attack here. Could potentially do quite a bit to Ruel. Could even take down Swift Flagbearer Sigrid, I would say. We'll see who they decide to target. But Ruel hasn't even revived yet. She actually hasn't really done anything. She's just been feared and just incapacitated, right? So Spirit Isoline, I would assume, goes for the Swift Flagbearer Sigrid just to take down 2 units. So if Ruel wants to revive somebody, you have to decide between 2 units to choose, right? Less bodies on the field means that less turn cycling for the opponents. So there we go. Swift Flagbearer Sigrid does go down. Getting another Wind Rider stealth for that Spirit Isoline. And this Disciplinary Prefect Arya now going to come in with a skill 3 of her own into the Ruel. Gonna be quite a bit of damage, but the Idols cheer, guys. This Tori gonna be coming in, attacking into the RNL, misses the Cascade, doesn't finish off, snaps out of fear too, going straight for the Tori, trying to get as much damage done as possible, and it's not gonna be quite enough, not yet at the very least. And Spirit Isoline gonna be going for the skill 3, immortality onto everyone. Everyone's so low, guys, on the other side. But yeah, Ethan's able to keep everyone alive with that immortality. Ruel's gonna be able to take a turn. Tori has a nice chunky barrier. Is he gonna revive the Estelle? I think you do. Just to keep the damage share alive, to keep everyone healthy, right? But instead, no, Swift Flagbearer Sigrid gonna be picked to come back here. She does have the ability to strip buffs off the opponent's team. So that's pretty good. Nice dual attack. Oh, the double bleeds, guys. Tori's gonna go down. I don't know if they're gonna be able to do this, guys. I mean, yes, with Flagbearer Sigrid takes a turn, but there's so many units on the other team here. And yeah, there we go. Call Me MD gonna be conceding with Ethan taking the win. Well, guys, what a way to end off the video here with such a long, drawn-out fight. It's good to see that both playstyles are still relatively alive here. Cleave is definitely something to watch out for, but if you're a slower player, there are ways to hopefully survive. Fingers crossed. Now I'm going to be off to build my Sage Ball, and with that being said, I'll catch you all in the next one. Take care.